Apple is about to give the iPhone its biggest visual overhaul in a decade. This isn't just another update, it's a completely new look. So, get ready to forget what you think you know about the iOS interface, because this is iOS 26. And it's built around a design aesthetic that people are already calling liquid glass. Intro. For the first time since iOS 7 flattened everything out, Apple has seriously rethought the entire look and feel of the iPhone. Tech circles are calling the new design system liquid glass, and you need to understand, this isn't just a new theme. It's a totally new design philosophy that brings incredible depth, reactive translucency, and fluid motion to every part of the interface you use every day. Now, before we get any further, let's talk about that name, iOS 26. You're probably scratching your head and thinking, wait, did I sleep through iOS 19 through 25? It's a fair question. Reports have confirmed that Apple decided to skip ahead and unify the version numbers across all its platforms. So, yeah, iOS 26 is the direct successor to iOS 18, and trust me, it's a massive leap. In this video, we're going to break down the 5 key ways this liquid glass look totally transforms your iPhone, from the lock screen you see 100 times a day to the icons you tap on. This really feels like the future of UI design. So let's get into it. Section 1. The new material. Dynamic, adaptive, and alive. First off, what is this liquid glass aesthetic everyone's talking about? This isn't just a catchy name, it describes a new, system-wide look built on layers of translucent, glass-like surfaces that almost feel like they have a physical presence. Imagine holding a piece of frosted glass over a colorful photo. You can still see the shapes and colors, but they're soft, blurred, and beautifully distorted. That's the core idea. The effect is done with some advanced, real-time rendering, which means interface elements actually react as you tilt and move your phone, almost like real glass would. But where it gets really smart is with its adaptive color. Buttons, controls, and backgrounds aren't just gray or blue anymore. They subtly borrow color from the content behind them. So, if you're looking at an album cover with deep reds in Apple Music, the navigation bar might get a warm, translucent glow. Browsing a website with cool tones? The interface adapts. It makes the whole OS feel less like a box holding your content and more like a living part of it. The whole design feels smarter, more cohesive, and just deeply integrated. Section 2. The floating UI and redesigned control center. Now for one of the biggest changes, something that's going to totally rewrite your muscle memory. The floating UI. For years, everything has been locked to the edges of our screens, the control center, nav bars, tab bars, you name it. Well, not anymore. In iOS 26, these key elements are now untethered. The new control center is the best example of this. It now shows up as a sheet of liquid glass that just floats elegantly over whatever you're doing. All the controls, from the brightness slider to the Wi-Fi toggle, have been completely redesigned with softer, rounded corners that match the phone's actual hardware. It's a long overdue move away from that kind of dated, blocky layout. But this isn't just for looks, it creates a much clearer visual hierarchy. When you don't need a control, it fades into the background, and when you do, it comes forward with this beautiful clarity. This thinking is everywhere in the system. In apps like Safari and Music, the tab bar at the bottom no longer takes up a permanent, solid block of space. Instead, it floats just above the content, and it can even shrink down as you scroll to give you back more of your screen. It's just a much smarter and more fluid way to get around your phone. Section 3. The revolution of the home screen. Next up, the home screen. The icon grid has been the bedrock of the iPhone since 2007, and even with widgets, the basic idea hasn't changed. Well, iOS 26 and its liquid glass look are changing that. Apple is finally letting us personalize our phones on a level we've been wanting for years. App icons aren't just static squares anymore. Betas and leaks show that iOS 26 is introducing options to customize your icons and widgets with new looks, including translucent or even clear, glass-like styles. Just picture it. You could keep your main apps as standard icons, but turn less used apps or certain widgets into these beautiful, clear versions that look like they're etched right into your phone's glass. They pick up the colors and patterns of your wallpaper, creating a stunningly personal look. This lets you decide what pops on your screen and what blends in. This is way more than just a cosmetic tweak. It changes the whole relationship between your wallpaper and the interface. Your background is no longer just a picture, it's now an active, integrated layer of the whole experience. This system of layered UI, from the wallpaper to the glass icons to floating notifications, gives the whole phone a real sense of physical depth. Section 4. A unified ecosystem. One of the best things about any big Apple feature is seeing how it plays out across the whole ecosystem, and liquid glass is no different. This isn't just an iPhone thing. Apple is bringing this sophisticated new design language to its other major platforms. You'll see it on iPadOS, where that huge screen will really let the floating elements shine. You'll see it on macOS, bringing a new level of translucency to Windows and the menu bar. This creates a unified and predictable experience, no matter which Apple device you grab. The core ideas of liquid glass, the transparency, the adaptive color, the rounded controls, will be consistent. While each version will be tailored for the device, the shared design language makes the entire ecosystem feel more connected than ever. Moving from your iPhone to your Mac will feel less like switching devices and more like just shifting your focus to another screen in the same world. It's a huge step in making the whole product family feel stronger together. Section 5. The accessibility challenge and Apple's response. Finally, let's talk about the big question. With all this beautiful translucency, layering, and blur, what about accessibility? It's a critical point because great design has to work for everyone. An interface this complex can create challenges for users with low vision or certain contrast sensitivities. The very thing that makes liquid glass pretty, its transparency, can make things hard to read if it isn't done right. And this is where you can see Apple is being thoughtful. They didn't just toss this design out there. Based on a ton of feedback from early beta testers, they're already tweaking it. Reports suggest Apple has already toned down some of the more extreme transparency in key areas, like inside the control center and on navigation bars, to make sure everything stays legible. On top of that, they've reportedly updated core accessibility features to work with the new system. Settings like increase contrast and bold text have been improved to intelligently work against the blur and transparency effects. This ensures that users who need a clearer interface can get one without being left behind. It shows a real commitment to balancing cool new aesthetics with practical usability, and it proves they're serious about getting this right for everyone. Conclusion. So, what's the final verdict on iOS 26 and this new liquid glass system? I think this is the most exciting and ambitious update to iOS in over a decade. It's a total reimagining of what a mobile interface can be. It's more dynamic, more personal, more beautiful, and honestly, more alive. Apple has finally moved past the flat design era and into a new age of digital materials, creating an interface that feels both futuristic and surprisingly real. It's a bold move, and while there are still things to perfect, especially around accessibility, the ambition is off the charts. This isn't just a new theme. It's a new feel for your most personal device, and it truly makes the iPhone feel brand new all over again. But that's just what I think. I want to know what you think. Is this the future of UI design? Is it a beautiful evolution, or just too much? What's the one feature you're most excited to try? CTA, let me know all your thoughts down in the comments below. I read every single one. And of course, if you enjoyed this look into the future of iOS and want to stay up to date on all things Apple, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss what's next. Smash the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more tech challenges, future experiments, and real talk from TechWave 65. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.